1. That's my best Royal Rumble like countdown.
Horrible.
Oh, I couldn't catch up in time. I was like grabbing my charging cord. I was like, shit, I was gonna do that just for the hell of it for fun. I mean, you gotta count along. Every time someone's coming up, you gotta count along.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I've been there. I've been at the Rumble, so I know how that's like, and that's very true. Pretty much every countdown, everyone was counting down from 10 at least.
It's a must. I mean, could you imagine if for 1 year the Royal Rumble had nobody in attendance counting down? How awkward that would be.
Yeah, I think it would be extremely awkward. Yeah,
it's the biggest point. But, anyways, yeah, let's do the intros, man.
Let's jump in. All right, everybody, welcome to the Deathlock Podcast, your number one wrestling podcast on YouTube, right? At least in our heads, we're number one.
No, it is. We beat everybody out there.
Forget Busted Open. Forget JD from NY. Forget Solo Monster or whoever the fuck those guys are. I don't know who any of those guys are. Forget Post Wrestling. Even though I like those guys, I like those guys a lot. There's so many wrestling YouTube podcasters out there, but we are number one. And again, thanks again for joining us in today. Today is October the 15th, 2024. We will recap a little bit of Raw, Smackdown. Maybe a little bit of news on what's going on in AEW if Tito feels like it also. I know he doesn't really follow that much, but, we can get into it.
I've been following a little bit of AEW recently because, just watching them crash and burn.
Oh, yeah. It's been pretty bad, especially the ratings, which we can talk about the ratings.
Yeah.
But we'll get into it. But, yeah, welcome, everybody. Again, first of all, I would like to start off with an announcement, and I'll go ahead and let Tito make that announcement for us today.
Okay, so I've dabbled with tech for such a long time, and one of my passions is pro wrestling. I've said this so many times. I've tried before, but never really put my heart deeply into it until now with Twist and Tap, which is my official channel for pro wrestling talk and pro wrestling talk only. And so I get to live out my dream, because I've been wanting to do that for such a long time. And yeah, I'm not a commentator for WWE, but I could be a commentator on there. So what you guys can expect is daily uploads on short form content regarding news and pro wrestling, as well as a once a week podcast. And we are joined at the hip. So we are tied to the main source, the Deathlock Podcast. So This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm pretty excited to do it. And thank you so much for allowing me to announce that.
Yeah, well, congratulations, first of all. I know it takes a lot to start a YouTube channel, and even though we've been doing it for years, it takes time and effort, right? I think that's the one thing that people don't realize is that, you have to have an idea, and then you kind of have to stick to it, right? And, YouTube, the thing about YouTube is it's a very niche platform, right? A lot of people stick to niches, but there's also people that kind of expand past their niches, right? So like for me specifically, when I started YouTube, it was mostly gaming, right? So this was like pre-tech channel, right? I was posting videos of me playing DDR back in the day on a whole completely other separate, YouTube name, etc. I got to like 100 subscribers, which I thought was a lot back in the day. This is like 2006, 2007, probably way before I started this YouTube channel. And then, again, I transitioned to tech. And then from there, I've had a few different channels, right? My car channel, my obviously the Deathlock Podcast channel as well. Yeah. And then, whatever, my side hustle channel. I have like 5 YouTube channels. I even have a Pokemon channel that I haven't even really touched in a while. So and again, I know Tito has, he's had a lot of those as well. So I don't know if you want to share your previous YouTube channels before we move on here.
Oh, bro. I mean, so it's all been consolidated into one channel, which is my varieties channel, and that's IRL Tito or in real life Tito. And that just could be anything from blogging to Pokemon Go. I removed pro wrestling talk from that, and that's why I made Twist and Tap, is just to give a dedicated channel to that, because there's some people that have messaged me about IRL Tito, and it's like they want the wrestling content, but like they get confused when I upload like all ninjas must die, gameplay or something.
Right, with no audio.
No. So they get,
you're like not talking to anybody.
Yeah. So they get confused. They get confused on that. So it's just like, okay, you know what? Like I'll make a dedicated channel and I'm gonna stick on that. Of course, the tech stuff is not going anywhere. It's just that I have a different venture and passion right now, and I'm going to be putting a lot into growing that. So that's the idea.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy for you. And again, like, you know, I always try to keep up with your other channels, however many you have. I like the IRL one because I know you post stuff about your family, post stuff about your photography.
Yeah.
Which again, like, it's not easy to do, man, because I know you're a busy guy. So, you know, first of all, like, you know, I'm glad that I feel like you're thriving on YouTube more than you ever have, man. So shout out to you there.
I'm trying.
And I'm trying to hold on. I'm trying to send freaking what's his face a link here. Mill Hustles.
Our resident Paul Heyman. Our resident Paul Heyman, Mill Hustles.
He texted me, but for whatever reason, hold on, let me see. I told him I sent it to him on Twitter, but
we'll officially change his name to Mill Heyman.
For whatever reason, okay, I guess he got in. I told him I sent it to him on Twitter. Let me go ahead and add him in really quick. But yeah, guys, right before I add Mill Hustles in, that's the page right there. It's called Twist and Tap. And again, it's at Twist in Tap. So all together, twist the letter N and then tap. So go ahead and subscribe. Let's get it. Right now, the Deathlock is sitting at 45. He's sitting at 7. So let's get this going. And here we go. We got Mill Hustles in the house.
Mill Heyman, what's up?
Mill Heyman, yeah.
Mill Heyman, I like that. I might start a channel like that. Fuck it, since we all got a bunch of channels.
Why not?
For real.
Twist
I
and
was saying
Tap.
that earlier.
Twist and Tap. Are you doing drink recipes? Are you reviewing alcoholic beverages?
No.
Oh my god.
Nothing like that for because it's all ages on there, which basically it's my own wrestling.
He's
podcast
keeping it
channel.
PG, okay? PG.
Yeah. But mostly just short form content. So like a lot to say, and at times if I want to go live and B-Tech's at work. I'm able to go live. I'm able to grab that video and share it to the Deathlock podcast as well, since he may be a manager. So I can do it on both channels. That's the best part.
Can you upload or no? Can you like take something and then upload it? Okay, yeah, because I know I made you a manager, but I was like, I think it shows that you are, but I haven't seen anything like as far as like it allowing you to do stuff, so that's good.
Yeah, the only thing I can't do is I can't edit the channel,
and
I can't initiate a live stream.
Oh, boo. Okay. Yeah,
but I can
eventually I'll try to make you an owner. But yeah, if you want to drag and drop some of your content from Twist and Tap, feel free to do so.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. Like the short form content that I'm gonna upload on Twist and Tap, I'm also gonna upload the same on the Deathlock podcast. So
yeah, I was gonna say if you're able to download stuff from here, then take it to Twist and Tap, whatever you want to do. Also.
Yeah. So now we just need Mill Heyman over here to start a channel.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Mill Heyman. Oh yeah, breaking news by the way, guys. I don't know if you guys are aware. Former Ring of Honor executive Joe Koff passes away.
What?
My friend. It's been posted already online. But yeah, I'm not familiar with the person. So maybe you might want to enlighten us a little bit. Mill Hustles. Give us a little more information.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's the guy that bought Ring of Honor from Rob Feinstein of the shoot interview thing. What the fuck is it called? I forgot the name of the series he did, but it's a bunch of shoot interviews. The Creep.
Ooh.
Damn.
Yeah,
he was there for a lot of their ups and downs. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he was there until they sold it off to Sinclair Broadcasting. But that is crazy.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. I mean, it sucks. I mean,
he died. He was 73 or something.
Yeah, he was in his 70s, I believe. So, here we go.
Damn.
Yeah.
KOFF, Joe Koff.
Yeah. I mean, again, like I don't really know too much about him, but obviously he had a lot to do with Ring of Honor in the past, and we already know how many great Ring of Honor talents have come out of that promotion over the years, right? A lot of the main event talent that we see now, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, who else? Samoa Joe, guys like that. They all came from Ring of Honor. So shout out to him. Yep. So what's up, Mill Hustles? Long time no talk. Also, sheesh.
Hold on just a second.
You haven't gotten cut off yet. I guess you're not using.
No, I'm
Chrome.
here. I'm just trying to find some more info. He obviously didn't have a
Like
a
Facebook
Wikipedia page, so
That's interesting that he did it.
Yeah, I was just sharing out the podcast so other people can know we're live.
Yeah, check out ringsidenews.com.
Drop the link in the chat, so if anyone pops in, they can catch the link.
yeah, even Sports Illustrated is covering it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like the first article that pops up. Let's
Oh,
see.
okay, no, never mind. He was at Ring of Honor from 2011, so there was somebody else. Damn, I
Yeah.
can't. But he was there through their boom period, man. They had a boom period.
Yep.
There we go. Nice little link for everybody to catch on if they want to read it. Light reading, whether you're in bed, on the toilet, whatever you can read.
Shit.
Oh man.
How do I pin this post? Okay, there we go. I pinned it. I think I pinned it. I'm not sure if I did or not, but okay.
It'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
yeah, no, I confused Joe Koff with Kerry Silkin, but both
Okay.
equally their positions, but that's fucking crazy, bro. I mean, it's kind of common, man. Look out for your health. Me telling you to look out for your health when I eat like a fucking pig myself. So
Yeah, he was born in 1951, so he's actually just a little bit older than my parents. My parents were born in 52, so he would have been about 73 years old.
yeah, my dad was born in 56, but he passed away in 2012. So it's
wow.
still kind of young to me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, sad, man. R.I.P. to Joe Koff, man.
Yeah.
wow.
Maybe. All right, 1 second here for me. I got to open the door real quick.
There's a lot to talk about. There's one thing in particular I want to talk about.
What do you want to talk about in particular?
Rikishi versus Vince Russo.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're feuding.
Let's lead into that. Well, I don't know if you call what he the one subject he wants to touch base with. Go ahead and tell him again, Mills.
Yeah, the new online feud between Rikishi and Vince Russo.
Oh God!
Have y'all heard about that yet?
I have not. No.
I've been hearing some things. I just haven't been paying attention to it because I'm just like, really? They're
Yeah,
feuding?
Rikishi has his own podcast now, and
Yeah.
these podcasts, they do outlandish things to get some views, especially when it's ran by someone that's a celebrity in our world. And Vince Russo's been kind of critical of Jay Uso and the whole Yeet thing. I mean, Vince, I like Vince. I know Vince. I've worked with him. He does nitpick a lot. I can't work with him in creative. I'll be honest. I can't do it. I tried. He was asking for, I think I've told the story before. He was asking everybody at Rocky Mountain Pro for suggestions. And, it's his way or no way. So why even ask? But regardless, he'd been kind of critical. And that Rikishi's been speaking out about Jay in the WWE for a couple months now. And he responded to Vince about some of his criticisms. Because Vince has always called championship belts props, which they are. We'll get to the context in a second. And he told Vince to go F himself. And, I was having a debate with a friend earlier telling him, Russo's right, but Rikishi doesn't understand from a writer's perspective. And I said, well, Vince doesn't understand from a wrestler's perspective, because sometimes those belts, man, are that little nudge that somebody needs to get over. I mean, if you can get over without a championship, you're golden. You're Jake the Snake Roberts, you're Roddy Piper. But sometimes, man, those championship belts, even though it's all scripted and shit, that could determine whether you feed your family for a long time to come. So I kind of have a balanced view about it. But yeah, they've been kind of going back and forth about it. I think that they'll be able to work it out. Hopefully they will. But them Samoans, bro, they don't play about disrespect.
Yeah. I know quite a bit from my days growing up. So I can see that. And I can see Rikishi's point of view. I can see why. Obviously it's his son. He's, so he's any criticism that kind of like goes a little too far in his mind. Of course, Father's gonna go and defend against, but you also have to ask the question, like, is the criticism from Vince that far out there, or is he giving a fair assessment? Like, and that's where the line gets blurred when it comes to family.
So you grew up around that area, and you have dealt with what they call Usos. You know what an Uso is? A Samoan gangster. I guess you can kind of throw in Tongan Island as well. You ever heard of a rap group called the Booyah Tribe?
Yeah, I have.
Those guys, man. I'm friends with one of the nephews of Gangsta Rid. His name is Monster Ganja. He's really big in Australia, actually. And he tells you the same thing. Those guys do not play about you speaking about their family. Rather, your criticism is fair or unfair. If you come in at them negative, they all stand up together. And I love that kind of unity.
Yeah, that's why that's why they're pretty dominant from where I'm from. I mean, yes, the whole terminology with Uso is reference, to the gang life for them, right? They got one of the biggest Samoan gangs ever, SOS, Sons of Samoa. They're huge. And they're not only just in Hawaii or back home in Samoa, they're also in Alaska, California, Washington State. Like, they have spread across.
And not only that, though, a lot of Samoans are Bloods in California.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so these are like, even though they have that gang, that gang lifestyle, the mentality is still different, though. The mentality is family. So it doesn't even really matter really what set you claim or whatever. But like you just said, if you mess with one member of the family, you're messing with the whole family. It don't matter. They're not, they don't care even if their family member was in the wrong, they don't care. They'll still ride. And then they'll scold them after they do what's done. Then that person will catch it from the family. Like, don't act like that. Don't do that.
Could you imagine if you pissed off, what's his name? Haku. And he's not Samoan, but he's practically part of that family.
Yeah. I mean, they don't play. Like, on a side note, I did actually make the worst mistake of my life. And I actually got into a fight at a place called Ala Park. It was with a Samoan dude from a project housing out there called Mayor Rights Housing. And this dude, 15 years old, 6'1", probably about 227. I learned, work the body. If you're gonna fight a Samoan, work the body. Don't mess with the head, because you're just gonna mess your knuckles up.
They don't feel pain. I got into a fight with a security guard that was a Samoan at a nightclub, and we're cool now. But he was tripping over some bitch, and he wouldn't do his job. And we ended up, and he started disrespecting us, so we had to jump him. I told the other guys, I said, "Ain't no way I'm fighting him by myself. If I fight him, y'all got to get in too. And if y'all let me get my ass kicked, I'm gonna kick y'all's ass."
I don't know if you guys can see the scar there. I had to have surgery on my hand, so when I fought that dude, like I hit him so hard, my knuckle actually went back.
Oh God!
And I had to go get surgery done to reset the knuckle back in place. So I learned from that point on, when you decide to go one-on-one with a Samoan, work the body. Don't worry about the head, because they split coconuts with their head. Just imagine what's gonna happen to your hand. I learned that important lesson. I will never do that again.
Crazy.
And I lost. I flew to a Honda Civic. Like, he literally, after a while, got irritated with me, picked me up and slammed me on a Honda Civic. So there you have it.
Interesting stories. That may why be why you like Toyotas more than Honda now. Right.
I never thought about it. That could very well be
traumatization from when you were younger. It's all good. It's all good. Well, aside from the gang talk and whatnot, we are here to talk about wrestling. And again, I think.
But there's gangs in wrestling. There's the Judgment Day.
The Judgment Day. You're right. I guess
the Bloodline.
They don't call them gangs though. They call them factions, or
I don't know. Those wrestlers that come from that come from the gutter, man. They're the ones that people don't mess with as much.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, like I said, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say where we have a little bit of that, with the Vince Russo and the Rikishi thing. Where do you see this going though? Do you actually guys feel like this is gonna continue on, or is there some point where those two will talk behind closed doors and settle it?
I think they will because they're both grown men. I mean, this online feuding shit, leave it to the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do
I
you
mean,
think, Mike?
I think they'll. I mean, maybe there might be a little more drama, right? You know, Rikishi's always going to defend his son. Russo is always going to be critical on what's going on, because he was he's a booker, and whatnot. So, it's just, again, they're going to butt heads for a little bit, and then hopefully it doesn't get to that point where they're throwing punches at each other. But I think
Hell no,
they'll come to a.
No, Vince ain't gonna do that. Vince will call the cops before that happens.
Russo was a former WCW champion, sir. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Anyways,
don't punch the head. Don't go for the head, Vince. Go for the body.
Go for the body. Yeah. I wouldn't want to throw a punch at Rikishi though. It'll just bounce back probably.
I don't know, man. Rikishi's had his days, man. Outside of the pro wrestling world, there's stories about him.
So I bet he's a big motherfucker. He is a big mofo. But anyways, yeah, it'll be settled hopefully. And again, hopefully it doesn't get to that point where they're just calling each other out constantly on their podcast. But I mean, hey, if freaking Vince Russo can have JD from NY on his podcast, that's hell freezing over then, because JD hated fucking he hated Vince Russo. So if that happens, then anything can happen, honestly.
Right. Awesome.
Yes, sir.
All right. Setting the tone here. I know you said you didn't catch Raw. I usually catch the highlights. I don't actually watch the full show. I just skim through like the most important parts, which are the highlights. Yeah. Thanks to YouTubers who take the time to do the work to make the highlights. So this whole thing with Rhea, Liv, Nia, Tiff, what do you guys think is going to happen at Crown Jewel?
It could happen that that one of them lose their belt at Crown Jewel.
Yeah, one of them obviously is going to lose their belt at Crown Jewel. One of them is going to gain a belt, but someone will lose their title. I mean, I think it's going to go the Nia Jax route where, I think she's TV Time has had enough of what Nia Jax is throwing at her, and she's just going to say, fuck it, I've had enough. And, it's going to be where you think she's going to cash in on Liv, but no, she's going to cash in on Nia.
They had a good angle on Raw, or was it SmackDown?
Both?
Was it SmackDown where Liv came out and said, hey, you're going to lose your match tonight to Nia, and then she costed her the match?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
She got pinned by Naomi this past week.
Yep.
So, I mean, a lot can happen.
I don't see what this disconnect is, that SmackDown is consistently better than Raw. This has been like this for decades. But I think that somebody, whoever works, I don't know, this is just speculation, but I think somebody that works at that whoever with SmackDown, some executive has to be a wrestling fan. That's like, hey, no, you better do better than what we're getting or something. I don't know. It's just weird. You saw my little 1-page review I sent you of the pay-per-view. We got to talk about that too.
Shall I share that here on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Share it. Pull it up.
But hold on, I gotta find it.
Yeah, we could dip in the blood. We could dip in the bad blood and talk
the little
about
screenshot that Mill Hustle sent. Oh wait, hold on. Here it is. Let me bring it up.
What? So while you're pulling that up, let me ask you guys this, okay? Because this part I didn't follow and I didn't research it because this podcast was like spur of the moment.
Yeah.
So with Crown Jewel, what is the deal with those title belts? Like, how's that working out? Like,
it's just champion versus champion, and whoever
they're basically doing what bragging rights. Champions.
Yeah, it's bragging rights basically. That's all it is. I mean, whoever wins between champion is going to get that Crown Jewel championship, and it's just bragging rights. That's all it is.
So, like, do they carry the belt like a whole year?
Nope. It just stays in the Saudi Arabia, as far as I'm concerned.
What's the point of having a belt?
Some people are saying that belt don't look that good. I love that belt. It's old school.
Yeah.
Like, what's it?
It reminds me of the AEW title, man. Honestly,
I was gonna say that it kind of looks like the AEW. But see, here's the weird thing about it, though. So if I was to do something like that, like what they're doing with Crown Jewel, champion versus champion, right? And so the winner obviously is going to hold that title for the night. What I think they should do is actually have them hold it for the year until the next Crown Jewel, right? So whatever that belt is on, obviously that show's got the bragging rights for the champion carrying the Crown Jewel belt. That's what I think they should do with it, instead of it just staying there in Saudi Arabia, not coming back to the United States. The person who won it, or the champion who won it, not carrying it. Like, I'm not expecting them to carry both belts. I'm just saying that, instead of having to say like, is the women's world title over the women's WWE title, the one who holds the crown jewel belt would be the one that's over the other.
What is it that they're getting per show when they go out there? Because I know the Prince family are the ones that paid them to go out there.
I don't know the schematics of that, but it's got to be a grip. Were you just like flipping your? I'm like watching you flip around. Like, what's going on? I have ADHD, so that will take me off my points like very quickly.
I was messing with the mirroring on here because I'm just like, my ear, this is on my left ear, by the way, not on my right ear. So I was like, why is it look like it's on my right ear? You know what I mean?
It looks like they get paid like $50 million every time they go out there.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy. That's like that could pay the salary of the whole roster a couple times over.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to help them do other events, and I think that's why they're also doing less events as far as like house shows now, because I mean, obviously with the money that they're getting from Netflix and all that money that they're getting from USA, it's like they don't really need to be touring as much, because I mean, I'm sure the cost of touring cost them a lot of money also. So it's just like, why do it when we can just pocket the cash and use it for other things like the UFC or whatever.
Yeah,
dude, they can literally sell no tickets and draw no viewers, and they still will be profitable the whole year.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they could just go to like a small venue like what NXT is doing and still make money.
Which is what AEW should be doing, but I
they're
digress.
Fucking idiots. Tony Khan. We'll get to that. We'll get to the whole TK.
Can you see the review okay?
I can read it just fine. I don't know if Tito can, but I have it mainly on here. So it says Bad Blood 2024. Let me read the bottom portion first. This PLE was good, but it had way too much hot shooting or hot shotting. Overbooked, in my opinion, which I don't think it was overbooked. I thought it was that was a short ass pay-per-view. It was only like 5 matches, so overbooking would be like fucking AEW with their 11 matches and half their matches being matches that they could have had on Collision or Rampage, basically.
No, but what I meant by the overbooking is there was too many angles, too many good angles they could have spread out.
Oh, possible, yeah.
Okay, I now I see what you're meaning by that. Okay, yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah, I'll agree with that assessment.
Like right, that's what kind of screwed. That was one of the bad things of the Attitude Era. You know, it's like, how do you follow it up? Like, if you can't read it, I have it. I have the thing right here. I have the list on my page as well. I wrote that at work during a slow period. I was bored.
Well, on top it says Hell in a Cell match followed with Gunther and Goldberg segment, which I
separated that from the Crown Jewel announcement.
Yeah.
Well, let's go into that. Let's go into the Hell in a Cell. Let's talk about that first.
Yeah, and then I also put Raquel returns to help Liv Morgan. The Rock returns. Jimmy Uso returns. Kevin Owens turns heel. They could have spread all that shit out, in my opinion.
Yeah, you felt like they just slammed all the storyline angles all into like one PLE and just pretty much like kind of like whitewashed it, because like it was like, so you got like the Rock that returned, right?
Yep.
So the Rock returns, but obviously you could tell that he's disappointed in the fact that Roman teamed with Cody. So like both guys are getting it from their internal camps. You know, Cody being attacked by Kevin Owens because he just couldn't stomach the fact that he decided to team with Roman, and then The Rock coming out and his final boss moment, and then literally giving him the neck cut. Like, that's not a good gesture, especially when you have the bloodline up, kind of grinning about it.
We'll go back to what I said a couple months ago. Do you remember when I said I don't think Cody gets past Raw on Netflix as champion?
Mm-hmm.
I think that Roman's going to win the belt back, and The Rock is probably going to help him, and that's going to set up their long overdue match at WrestleMania, which is not going to mean as much now, honestly, but you never know.
I mean, seeing Roman and The Rock battle, I do think is still one of the things that fans are really most interested in, because I mean, like, when you get to know like what goes on behind the scenes. it wasn't storyline that the whole thing before WrestleMania this year with The Rock stepping in and they were gonna make it The Rock versus Roman, but then Cody, like that. It was kind of shocked me because they usually keep those things behind the scene. That actually really played out. Like that was like a real life thing. That wasn't a storyline. Oh, we're gonna do this. The Rock talking about it, and so it was The Rock's idea to go heel because since Cody was gonna go for the title, it was like, okay, well, you're gonna squash the Roman versus a Rock. Why not have me turn heel and kind of step in with the bloodline and kind of push Cody and all these things. So very, very good on how The Rock assessed all that, and it worked because I love heel Rock. um so, there's still fans that still want to see that, The Rock and Roman. And one of them had to become a face in order to make this kind of work, even though Roman is not technically a face, as what he says, although he's doing a lot of face moves, like acknowledging Jimmy on SmackDown. Yeah, I think, getting The Rock and Roman is not it's not too late for that.
I mean, yeah, I think it'll happen. I don't, most likely at WrestleMania next year also. We'll see how that goes. I don't agree that Cody's going to lose the title and that Roman's going to get the title back. I think we're at a point where if Cody loses the title, it'll be to someone like Randy Orton possibly. I think KO is going to be not renewing his contract also, so they're kind of just trying to like make it a thing where he's kind of just feuding with Cody until he leaves, basically. Possible turn for Randy towards the end of that, or maybe after it happens, right? So that's why I think Cody's going to stay with the title, at least until the Royal Rumble. I think he'll hold on to it until the Royal Rumble. And then from there, who knows? Cody might lose. I don't see him holding it past the Rumble. But as far as the bloodline angle goes, again, I think Rock and Roman will, again, continue to feud. I think there's going to be, and I think Tito's mentioned this, right? There's going to be like a third version of the bloodline, right? So you have Solo's version, you have, Roman Reigns' version, and then you have The Rock's version.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to see something happen either by War Games. Like something happens at War Games, like where you have the original, tribal chief and his crew versus Solo and his crew, and then maybe The Rock gets involved somehow, right?
Yeah,
he fucks them all over. He beats all their asses with a new set of guys. I'm thinking I feel like that's what's going to happen. Like
that's a strong possibility.
Yeah.
I feel that too, because one of the things that I'm kind of sad about, and I know I'm kind of putting the cart before the horse when I say this, but I honestly feel like that Jay is going to lose the IC title. I think he's going to lose the IC title because you already saw on SmackDown, for those who watched it, you already heard Jimmy tell Roman that we need him, right? Like Roman came to help him after Jimmy lost the match to his brother. The bloodline attacked both of them, beat them down. And you've been hearing it even before that when they promoted and Roman, acknowledged Jimmy's return, and then Jimmy was letting him know, I see a chief without a tribe, like we need him, and we all know who Jimmy's talking about. He's talking about Jay, because Roman replies with no yeet, and that was that. So for Jay to be injected back into this bloodline civil war. Going in with the IC title is probably not going to be the idea that they want, since the IC title is on Raw. They're going to want Jay to kind of start to become full-time on SmackDown. They're going to want to move him over because he's not going to join the bloodline easily. He doesn't trust Roman. I honestly feel they're going to make that little play, kind of like what they did with the Shield when the Shield was trying to reunite, but I always call him John Moxley, but Dean Ambrose was hesitant, right? He was a heel.
Yeah,
he was hesitant. No. Kept saying no until he was watching Seth and Roman get beat down. Then he decided to run back to the ring and jump in and help them. I think the same thing is going to happen with Jey Uso. He's going to be hesitant. He's going to, kind of stay on the outside of it until he, something dramatic happens where he's like, okay, you know what? Let me put my differences aside with Roman and let's do it. I just don't see him doing it with the IC title. I don't know what you think. Do you think they're going to let him carry the IC title into this Bloodline Civil War? Or is Braun Breaker going to take it back?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I think Braun Breaker wins it back. That way they can focus more on that Bloodline storyline with Jay. Although there's a good chance that he can hold it also, and during that that little run with the Bloodline, have him hold the Intercontinental Champion, and kind of just go back and forth with the challenges, right? A lot of people are wanting to challenge him for the IC title, obviously.
He injects in the Bloodline. Another thing is Jay could inject himself into the Bloodline Civil War, but then the Bloodline cost him the IC title against Braun Breaker.
I'm thinking that's might what happened. Also, like, you never know. I would think not, though, because they want to get in his good graces, right? So it's like, okay, if they back him up, right, just like they were doing with Roman Reigns when he had the Universal Championship for 1,400 plus days, then maybe it'll give him more incentive to, okay, I'll help you scratch my back, I'm gonna scratch your back, right? That's the only way I see him doing it, if he retains the title. Now if he loses the title and it's their fault, then he's gonna want to get away from them even more.
Yeah, I just don't want him to see him lose the belt, though. That's his first singles championship. I've been waiting for it for such a long time. It's like, to have a short run like this, I think would be more detrimental to his career.
Yeah, but if you look at it, Braun Breaker had he held it for a month also, and I don't think it hurt. Yeah, I don't think it hurt him. This has happened to a lot of people in the past, right? Guys like Zack Ryder, he held the IC belt for one fucking day, dude. One fucking day, 24 hours. But
that was under the McMahon regime. McMahon's regime was known to do dumb shit like that. I don't know. Because Jay's been in the company for so long, right? And they emphasized that when he won the Intercontinental Championship, they emphasized how many years he's been in the company and how long did it take for him to break away in the singles and then get a singles title. It's like, to get a singles title and then run it short, I think just hurts it. Not that it hurts Jay, because obviously people are going to stand behind Jay, but it hurts everyone's confidence in the company of making good decisions and bookings and doing it right. And they're just going to think another Vince McMahon regime.
Understandable. I mean, again, but we'll see what happens. I think we also have to consider the fact that Sami Zayn will be interjected at some point as well in all this once he finishes feuding with Gunther. I don't think he's going to beat Gunther for. Or didn't he already have a fucking match? He already had his title match on.
He already had his title match.
He lost, obviously, right?
No offense against Sami Zayn fans, all the Zanies out there, but I am kind of happy that Gunther didn't lose the title to Sami. I'm just gonna say it out there. Yeah, I would rather see Cody and Gunther go at it at Crown Jewel than Sami, and that's just me.
It would have made sense for Sami versus Cody at Crown Jewel, but I think they're holding maybe Sami Zayn and Gunther again for WrestleMania. I think they're going to save that for WrestleMania next year. I really think Sami Zayn's going to win the Rumble next year. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. But I think he's going to win the Rumble next year. And he's going to go after the guy that has been picking on him for the past couple of years already.
It's either Sami Zayn wins the Rumble or CM Punk wins the Rumble. One of the two.
I don't think Punk is going to win the Rumble. In fact, I don't even think he'll be in the Rumble this coming year. We'll see what happens.
Do you think he's done? After all,
I don't think he's done. No, because they're trolling him versus Rollins. Obviously, that was already.
I want that.
Yeah, they already kind of injected that in his head when he was on Raw last week. Where the last person that came out that kind of had a face to face with him was Rollins, and even Rollins says, I'm gonna be the guy that ends your career, right? So who knows, that could be a matchup. They might both be in the Rumble next year, but I'm pretty sure they'll both be responsible for taking each other out.
Do you think it's done between McIntyre and Punk though?
Yeah,
I do think it's done.
Yeah, and if it's not,
I really enjoyed that feud.
That'd be crazy.
It was a good feud.
It's gonna be feud of the year, as far as that goes. I think that'll be feud of the year, and I think if McIntyre doesn't make PWI's top 5 next year, I think the PWI people are fucking dumb as shit. Is all I'm gonna say. Because he's had so many high profile matches over the last year, and he's been in literally the top storyline pretty much since WrestleMania. So. Pretty much the entire year or so. But anyways, going back, we might as well talk about CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, right? Bad blood, right? So everything that led up to it, right? I don't know what any comments on that, fellas.
Yeah, there's a new plushie of Larry on the WWE website.
I'm gonna buy it. I probably will buy it. And you want to know why I'm gonna buy it? Because I don't know if you guys heard CM Punk's speech last week, but he says, I'm happy for the enemies I've made also because they've made me a lot of money.
Yeah,
And guess who his enemies are? Guess who his enemies are? The elotes, the all elotes, the EVPs. Those are his enemies if you think about it. Because if it wasn't for those guys, he would probably still be in AEW.
You know, AEW. Did you hear? I know we're gonna get to this, but let me jump in real quick. Did you hear about their record low number on Dynamite?
Oh yeah, from last week.
No, I didn't hear about it, but do
tell. Yeah, they went from 650,000 usual viewers, and that week they got 320,000.
Yep, and that was a lead up to a pay-per-view also. So that was leading up to Wrestle Dream.
So they need to change their name. AEW now stands for anyone even watching.
Tony Khan, listen up.
Yeah,
you're fucking up, bro. You're fucking up.
I watched the documentary. I think that eventually he will get his shit together. Even if it means his dad or the network has to threaten him into letting someone else steer the ship.
You know, why don't Tony just like email the three of us, right? I'm sure we could put on a banging show. We got ideas. Ideas.
You don't want that
hologram.
I'm gonna make him part of the show, and I'm gonna have him taken out.
Oh, God.
Hey, if you
angle though, it's an angle,
right?
Question though for you, Mill, is who would you use to take him out?
Oh shit, man! I have to look for somebody from the '80s.
Shit,
someone tough for real, you know?
Well, what's his face is there? The fuck is his name? Jake the Snake is still in AEW technically, so and he's from the '80s.
He's in poor health, you know. He's in really poor health.
True.
Oh, I mean, there's no way that Tony Khan would, you know. I mean, he would still be all right in the 80s, but in the 80s, those wrestlers would talk back because they had way more places to go work. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shit. Damn. I don't know. Who would you put? I'll probably come up with an answer.
Jim Cornette.
Yeah, but Jim would just scream at him, then he'd get himself fired. I need somebody that would work in the ring and like be stiff with him, like, hey, you know?
Samoa Joe.
You put Samoa Joe?
I put Joe in there.
See, but I think Samoa Joe would be scared to hurt him.
No, I'll give him an incentive. You give Joe an incentive, man, and yeah, it's a done deal. You can get pretty stiff with him, and under the right circumstances. I mean, you know, Joe can be unhinged at times. I think that was like one of the stigmas that's followed him, no matter where he's went, from Ring of Honor to TNA.
You know who would be good? If they're still mobile, I would send Danny Spivey after him.
Yeah.
Waylon Mercy. Yeah. Or I'm gonna throw one that's really out in left field. Coco Beware.
No shit.
Dude, Coco Beware, the Birdman, that's a guy that you do not fuck with, bro.
Well, yeah. Most people don't realize that because he was such a fun-loving guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that and his parrot.
Yeah, man. A lot of those guys from the 80s are tough. You know, that's what I tell people when they book them at indie shows. You gotta have. They will walk over you.
Well, we kind of strayed away from the whole.
I'm trying to go by his notebook notes over here, and we're.
All right, let's go. Okay.
Okay.
Moderator.
So going back to. I'm gonna mute both of you guys. Just kidding. But just going back to Bad Blood. Obviously, that happened. It's already been a couple weeks already. Technically, we should have done this recap last week. But it was probably it was their first PLE back in the States in a while, actually. So the last couple of PLEs were out of the country, and I hate to say it, right, but a lot of the countries that they're going to, they're blowing the U.S. crowds out of the water, man. I'm sorry, man.
I know
the U.S. crowd. I feel like they're so used to the show that you don't hear the excitement in their chants, nothing, right? I mean. It's not to say it was bad. I forgot what city they were in. I think they were in Philly or somewhere. I don't know where the fuck. Georgia. I think they were. Oh yeah, they were in Georgia because that was Cody Rhodes' hometown. I think they had promoted that. But anyways, it's just not good. Like a lot of these big matches, like the crowds just aren't making it exciting. But But anyways, going forward, I think they let off with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. I don't know if that was the right choice or not. I think, in my opinion, that should have been the main event. But I guess because Reigns was on the show, he had to have the main event spot. Possibly, I don't know.
Yeah,
Plus,
that's
The Rock
probably
was
why.
there, and plus The Rock was there. But I mean, it was one of the better Hell in a Cell matches I've seen over the last couple of years. Obviously,
Yes.
we've seen several of them already. So many now. I think there's been like 50 plus Hell in a Cell matches already over its span, and it was to the point where, like, first of all, like Drew getting busted open, I was like, oh shit, like this guy's fucking bleeding really bad. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? There wasn't any. To me, there wasn't any like major spots where I was like, "Oh shit," you know what I mean? Like, it was just kind of like they were just beating on each other, right? It was kind of like a throwback to me, right? Because I didn't have to see anyone jumping off a fucking, steel cage or anything like that and breaking their leg, or just doing some dumb spot where they could probably break their neck, right? I don't think we saw any of that. It was just a lot of hard hitting.
Yeah, no, there was
a lot of
that.
a lot of grappling, a lot of stuff on the outside of the ring also. A lot of use of weapons. I think that's something that I feel like the WWE has taken away from us a lot, is the use of like things like tables, chairs, things, kendo sticks, right? They don't really implement that in a lot of stuff. So I think they, CM Punk, Andrew, they both did a great job, using everything they could in and around the ring to hurt each other. And of course, I think Punk winning was the right decision, obviously, but it's like what happens now? What happens now?
Yeah.
Give both of those guys a little time to heal.
Yeah, I think that gives them both a good time for a little bit of vacation, and then maybe we might see them both a little bit before the Rumble. I mean, who knows? We might not see Punk until the Rumble next year. And same thing with McIntyre. They might be out of the show for a while. They might be on an extended vacation.
I mean, give him a vacation. Let him go home to his wife for like a couple of weeks, but at least let him come back and hit the mic. I mean, so like, yes, Punk's in-ring talent, I give that to him. But I find the most entertaining when he's feuding and when he's throwing a lot of heat on the mic. When he's dropping his pipe bombs. I mean, if he's not going to be on Raw with that, that's just going to like, I'm going to like feel like I'm missing out on something on Raw, because his promos, his cuts, his pipe bombs, man, it's not just a thing that's said and, on the promotion as a thing to say. It really is. He proved that. He went to AEW, the infamous MJF moment. I mean, he's got it. So that's just going to be sorely missed if he's going to be gone all the way until the Rumble. But as far as the Hell in a Cell match, we didn't see a lot of. Well, for me, those would be dumb spots. Like what happened to Mick Foley and the Undertaker chokeslam through the top of the cell, thrown off the cell. Like, yeah, those are like wow factor moments, but they don't need to be at every Hell in a Cell match. It doesn't need to be. What Drew and Punk did, I think, all the weeks leading up to that match and what they say they were going to do to each other, they delivered on their promises. They were going to beat the hell out of each other. That was the whole point, was to go to hell and back. And yeah, I agree. Having Punk go over on this was the right thing to do, because I don't feel like it hurts Drew at all.
Mm-mm.
This was not a match that would elevate Drew's status or, decline his status. This was an actual grudge. So let him go at it. Now Drew can focus on somebody else to feud with, or maybe he can chase a title. I don't know. I don't know what Drew's going to do from this point.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I mean, I think we all know where the route that Punk is going to go, right? With Seth Rollins, right? Whenever that does start, I think Rollins is going to, now that he's back, he's going to be feuding with Bronson Reed in there. And I think they're trying to create another star out of Bronson Reed, which, I think he's doing a good job for the most part with his heel character. Oh, we didn't know you left. So anyways, but where does it go? Where does it take Punk? I think we'll still see Punk and Rollins at WrestleMania next year. But again, where do we go with Drew McIntyre now? How does this feud affect him over the next couple months leading into WrestleMania? The Rumble. Does he get back into that number one spot?
Turn babyface and feud with Gunther.
You think that too? I was thinking like now that the the grudge feud between Punk and McIntyre is over, because to be honest, watching McIntyre all this time, I never really classified him as a heel, right? Because he did kind of have a little bit of heel tactics and some things that he did, but at the end of the day, when you really kind of think about it, he was just like throwing out facts. He was throwing out the facts from the side of the fans that don't want to see Punk back in WWE. And then you have CM Punk. So ultimately, it's like, Drew feuding with Gunther is not something that you would have to say that McIntyre would have to change. I don't think so. He don't have to change, but the feud, it's gonna go off. Those are two solid guys right now, and of course Drew would have a legitimate claim to challenge Gunther because he was screwed out of the title because of Punk. So yeah, he could stake that claim on that he has the right to challenge, and I don't think that it's a bad thing too, because even at one point, if you guys remember, they had the triple threat match with Sheamus, McIntyre, and Gunther for the IC title. Mm-hmm. So it kind of revisits that feud. So I think it's a good idea to have him feud with them. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I can probably see them moving Drew to SmackDown in some sort of trade. That's where I think it's going to go, because really, like, I mean, if you want to put him in the the championship spot, I don't think it's gonna be with Gunther. I know what you said makes sense, right? A little bit with him feuding with Sheamus, and maybe that's something we'll see again, right? With Sheamus, Gunther, and McIntyre, especially because they're all European guys, right? Maybe they'll put the light on European guys, but I don't know. For some reason, I think McIntyre would be better off, going to SmackDown and being the next guy to feud with Cody, especially once Cody's out of that angle with the bloodline. Who do you give Cody to besides Randy Orton, right? I mean, obviously that's really the only guy that I see Cody feuding with, and once that's done, then who else, right? Right. So that makes sense. It's to the point now where WWE has created so many top guys that it's going to be very hard to put him in those spots. And I wish it was like that in AEW, but it's not. It's not. You just have the same fucking people.
You have all these top guys. You don't want to move them to the bottom. No Diddy.
Hologram. Fucking beast Mortos. Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
All these top guys. You don't want to move them to the bottom. No Diddy.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, so Hell in a Cell match, I thought it was like pretty decent. What did you guys think of, Ripley and Morgan with Dom in the shark cage?
I mean, I was paying more attention to Dom in the shark cage than I was to the match itself, honestly. They kept cutting back to Dom, looking scared and like grabbing the bars. I'm like, okay, like we get it. He's in the fucking cart, the shark cage, but you don't have to show him every fucking like 30 seconds while the match is going on. That ruined the match for me, man. Because I mean, like I want to, I enjoy watching Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, and it's just like, like I feel like their last match was a lot better than this one. But
I also enjoy watching the rear of Ripley.
Of course, yeah, but no,
hold on. I cut out a second. I said I also enjoyed looking at the rear of Ripley.
Okay.
I mean, I agree with you. Like, there was too many panning shots over to it. I mean,
wait. Did you say Did you say too many panning shots? I didn't see that.
Panning.
Oh. Hey, this isn't the Attitude Era.
He's about to turn back on the PLE and be like, "Where is it?"
Right.
But like. Because, like, I was annoyed by it. My brother was watching it, and he messaged me on Instagram, and he messaged me the meme with the no more locked doors. Basically emphasizing because it kept cutting to Dom in the shark cage, and so that's what was going through my brother's mind. And yeah, they should have kept majority of it on the match in itself, I think, and every now and then maybe like show Dom's reaction, but I don't know. I feel like that the Liv Morgan Rhea storyline is getting stale. It's just I'm not gravitating towards it like I was before. Now that they brought Raquel Rodriguez in, because I already knew they were going to bring somebody back. I mean, when Rhea says you have nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, no one to save you, it's like, well, yeah, the Judgment Day may not be allowed by ringside. Dom's in the shark cage, but there's always somebody. It's a classic storyline thing that they bring in a protector, a bodyguard, someone to make the little imp, be able to prance around to irritate people more. But I think
well, that's very unsafe, isn't it?
But I mean, it's like,
isn't that unsafe to put your dong in a shark cage? I'm just twisting all the
Dog.
words today.
I know. You're doing your Heyman thing. Go for it. But yeah, I don't know. Do you guys feel the same way, or do you guys differ from my opinion on it being stale?
I mean, it's been dragging. Now that they kind of interjected Raquel, as kind of like the the enforcer for Liv. I think they're trying to kind of stray away from Liv and Rhea to now Raquel and Rhea. Because there's history there also, especially when they were in NXT, right? Raquel was the one to kind of dethrone Rhea right before she left NXT. They had a series of pretty good matches. So I think that's leading up to that. There is history there also. With injuries and stuff like that with Rhea and Raquel. So maybe they're trying to open something up with that. But as far as that goes, I mean, I can agree that it got boring a little bit after a while. I mean, you could only see Rhea beat on Dom so much before. Okay, it just we're kind of over it already. I get it. Like Dom, he betrayed Rhea. But it's like, I mean, is she gonna beat him down every week? Are we gonna? Is that something we're gonna see, or does Rhea move on to something else? And
Yeah,
Raquel's been gone for a while.
Yeah,
because of that disease that she has.
Skin condition. Yeah, she has some sort of skin condition.
I think it's autoimmune.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, my brother seriously believes that Raquel Rodriguez is next in line for the world title. Like, he thinks that this will string out for a little bit of time, but eventually Liv is going to mistreat Raquel, and it's going to lead up to a match where Raquel goes for the world title. I don't know. I could see it happening, but I hope they don't drag it out too long to where we're going to see that.
How long until Liv turns on Dom?
That would be kind of interesting. I would say if she is going to, maybe like in the next 2 or 3 months, I feel like she would drop the bomb that, because I mean, the person I think that is pulling all the strings, the little dark ponies, is Finn Balor. Mm-hmm. I feel like that, there is something between him and Liv. I mean, he did go to the hotel room. He took the key. So
that would be interesting.
So you know how that feud is going to end, right?
Do tell us.
So basically, Dom has been doing the fucking, and then she's going to fuck Dom the same exact way.
That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I felt that was stale, so it really didn't capture a lot of my excitement for the matches. What's next on the list?
Sheesh, let's see. I'm gonna have to bring it up here. Let's see. Goldberg and Gunther segment.
Next. I like both guys. I was a big fan of Goldberg in middle school, but next.
I thought it was entertaining. That's all I'm gonna say. I thought it was entertaining, and I'm positive it'll lead up to a match at Crown Jewel next year, possibly. Give Goldberg a little time to get back into ring shape. Maybe throw him in NXT for a couple weeks. Just to kind of get the ring rust
off.
Yeah, big ring rust. Obviously,
there's a lot of people that believe they're gonna battle at Crown Jewel. For some reason, there's like so many people talking about it on social media, and it's like they're like, yeah, he's gonna battle at Crown Jewel, and Brock Lesnar's gonna return. And I'm like, look, guys, I know people miss Brock Lesnar, but I don't see him coming back anytime soon. Not after all those things that went on. So
I would just be cracking up if Goldberg wins the world title from Gunther, like at a Saudi show, just because like he won the Universal title like a few separate times at those events and venues. So I'm just like, I wouldn't be shocked because the fucking Saudis love Goldberg. I don't know why, but I wouldn't be surprised if they put it on Goldberg and then he just lose it like a week later, against whoever the hell,
Yeah.
It would be interesting. But anyways, moving on, because I know that's something Mill Hustle doesn't want to talk about. Okay, we did talk about the Crown Jewel Championship already. We talked about Raquel returning as well. I mean, any more thoughts on that? I mean,
it was stale.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that does for Raquel personally. I think it doesn't help her character because she kind of had a good thing going by, on her own, doing her own.
Yeah.
She had feuded with Rhea last year also. And it was just, more entertaining to see her by herself. I don't see why they would put her with Liv Morgan. I don't think it does anything for either of them. Let's see. Jimmy Uso returns. Again, that plays back into the bloodline angle. I enjoyed his return, first of all, on SmackDown,
Yeah.
right? I think that, we are seeing more pieces adding to the puzzle with the story there. Now, of course, I missed Raw this past week, but I did see the clip where he's backstage with Jay, and Jay's just saying, "I already told you no." Like, the big answer is no, basically, right? So
Yeah.
obviously we know what he's asking, right? He's asking for his help. He's asking for the right hand man of, the tribal chief to return. But of course, we've seen the success that Jey Uso has had over the past year, since leaving the bloodline, right? Being probably most likely overshadowing even Roman Reigns to some degree as far as a singles competitor, right? And now seeing him in his first Intercontinental run, again, going back to what Tito was saying, like, is he going to lose the title coming up soon versus Braun Breaker, or will he retain? And will we see him, hold the title throughout the angle? And
I don't want him going to SmackDown. That's all I know. I don't want him going to SmackDown. I do want to see what they're intending to do with Jay and Rhea. Like, they've been teasing it, and then it's kind of cooled down.
Yeah,
so like,
I did hear that they kind of already did, like, I don't know. I missed the segment yesterday because, like I said, I didn't watch Raw, but apparently there was like some sort of like interview with Rhea and Damian backstage where it kind of seemed like they're going to go on their separate ways now. I don't know if that's true or not. You tell me, Tito.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot. I've been hearing a lot that Damian has finally moved on, and Rhea's going to move on.
He's going to move on from that. So,
but I want to see what they're intending to do with Rhea and Jey Uso, because they've teased it, right?
Yeah,
they've had Jay come and help Damian and Rhea out. She has acted a certain way when mentioning Jay, but it's cooled down in the last 2 weeks. I haven't really.
Yeah, and who knows? They might hold it for another angle later on. Maybe again, they get over the Liv and Mysterio angle, but then they kind of reinterject themselves into that a little bit later on, maybe, especially if
Rhea and Jay against Dom and Raquel.
I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of mixed tag action, right? That would be interesting to watch.
Yeah,
especially with them.
For sure.
All right, going from Jimmy Uso returning, Kevin Owens heel turn.
That was a good way to do it. I like that they didn't do it in the ring and they didn't do it backstage. Yeah. They made it to where, like a place where we normally don't see that type of event happen, right there in the parking lot by his bus. That was
the one thing that I would have did different though.
Yeah.
I would have, if I was the WWE, I would have said on Twitter or wherever that we had nothing to do with that. We don't know what the issue is. But we're investigating.
They did.
They can feel real.
They did do that.
They did do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
they're playing it. They're playing that angle. Yeah. They're playing like they don't know what Kevin Owens was doing. That's why he was quote unquote suspended or whatever. He wasn't supposed to be on SmackDown, and then that caused that whole rift between him and Randy. Yeah. He wasn't supposed to be there because he's under investigation for his attack on Cody, and WWE is putting it where they had no knowledge that was ever going to happen. So they're trying to play the angle of that.
Yeah, they're trying to make it seem like he broke kayfabe and, he just went and attacked Cody on his own. And then, of course, they banned him from SmackDown this past week. So, again, but I think he still was able to get on the show. I don't remember exactly how, but, they're like, oh, yeah, he's not going to be on or whatever. And I think Cody wanted to talk about it, but Randy kind of interjected himself saying he's like, I'll talk to KO. And then KO started beating on Randy Orton also. So
yeah, like you're choosing sides. I love that. Those microphones are good. I love hearing what they stream.
You need to have 8K cameras now.
Yeah. But they're actually they're playing exactly what you wish they would have done. Yeah. They're actually doing it. That's what has people so like the not so in tuned wrestling fans, they don't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. They just they're buying into WWE's statement, like they had no idea that Kevin Owens was going to do that. That's not something, because like that was the whole reason why they set the atmosphere for it to happen, by Cody's bus. They wanted it there, obviously, so they can play that part. We don't know what's going on. What the hell did Kevin Owens do? He's suspended. We have to investigate. We're looking at footage, and it's like, us real fans know that they know what's going on. They're playing an angle. We know that. But that's pretty interesting that Kevin Owens is doing that. Now here's the thing though, because you said this earlier, that they're gonna have Kevin feud with Cody just to tie him over till his contract's over and he doesn't re-sign. You think he's going to AEW?
Yes.
He's gonna be a victim of AEW?
Wait, who?
Unfortunately, yeah, Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
Oh, I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think he resigns unless they're kind of trolling us, making the fans think that he's not going to resign. And then just of course like last minute, like oh yeah, we signed him to a three-year extension, or whatever. I mean, they're paying him a lot of money. He's one of the top paid guys on the show.
Yeah, I don't think they'll let him go so easily.
I wouldn't want him to go to AEW. Like my straight message to Kevin Owens is, if you really are going to go to AEW, get prepared to get shelved. Make you a nice couch that's comfortable, that can support one of your limbs or one of your arms, because you're about to step into a zone where it's unsafe.
And make sure you get paid a lot more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think WWE's paying him like $4 or $5 million a year right now. I think like I said, he's one of the top paid guys in the company right now. Of course he's below guys like Roman Reigns and CM Punk, and even Cody. Cody I think is the number 2 paid guy on the show. But we'll see. I mean, again, if they're playing it as an angle, maybe they're working us real good, I guess. And especially if he resigns. But I think he goes to AEW, and I think he goes for a couple years and then comes back and finishes off his career in WWE. I think he does want to try something different, right? In another company, just like Ricochet. Even though Ricochet,
why do you want to try something? Like, it's like, do you really want to try getting injured? Is that the whole point? Like,
he wants to break his leg like Edge.
Former WWE stars probably look at AEW as a way to take a long vacation. Like, I'll go there, get fucked up, and then stay on the shelf for like a year.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
because they want to get paid to sit on their asses and do nothing, and they know that Tony Khan is smart enough or dumb enough, I'm sorry, to pay people to just sit out. Guys like Miro, guys like who the fuck else has been sitting out for like the longest time that they haven't put on air. Wardlow, even though I think Wardlow's injured. I mean, it's Kenny whatever. Omega. Kenny Omega. Well, Kenny Omega, he's got a legitimate
but I mean,
thing going on with him. So I mean, he'll be back soon. Hopefully, I'm hoping before the year ends, but if not, early next year, right?
They paid Punk when he was shelved, when he was gone for injuries. Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with that, obviously. I'm surprised that Tony Khan didn't pull, like, oh, let's keep him because he was out. Half his fucking career, he was out in AEW with an injury, But, he was their top draw, even being fucking injured and not being there, he was their top draw. So it's like, fuck,
Man. Speaking of AEW. Yeah, let's get into it. We're already talking about them. Let's get into it. Let's open up a can of worms.
Wrestle Dream just recently happened. I don't know if any of you guys paid attention to that pay-per-view or not.
No.
I only saw the last 3 matches, and the last match was obviously Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose. And I mean, we knew how it was going to play out. I mean, his full-time wrestling career is officially over. Where that goes next, obviously, maybe he'll come and make an announcement, a week or 2 from now, saying, "Oh yeah, I'm officially done as a full time." But he's still gonna wrestle. He has to get the neck surgery, and then we'll see what happens after that. As far as Moxley goes, they've been hinting at something storyline wise, like that the company is no longer theirs, and this and that, and. Does that mean that maybe there's a possible sign of Shane McMahon, interjecting himself, as part owner of the company or something, right? Because when he won the title, what did they do? They threw it in a duffel bag and they ran off. They took off. Of course they tried killing Daniel Bryan again. They put a plastic bag over his head again, which I thought was just there was no point to that. But I mean, I guess they had to do something for Yuta to make him, finally turn over and be that heel character. Which was dumb in my opinion. I thought they should have not have went with that, but he is part of the Trios Championship. So now they got 2 major titles. They got the AEW World title, and then they got the Trios title. And of course they have the female character. Who knows? Maybe she'll get a women's championship. What the fuck her name is, but anyway, the MMA chick, the one that used to throw socks at the fans.
God.
But anyways, yeah, as far as that goes, like, I don't know, man. We can go back to talking about the decline in viewership, right? Obviously, the week before the pay-per-view last week, it was 329,000, like Mill Hustle said, and that's very scary if you're Warner Discovery looking at the ratings there.
Yeah, that's really bad. That's terrible, man. As I said, it's going to keep declining when they keep doing these stupid bullshit antics, and they don't really see, like, as of As a wrestling fan, this is the way I view AEW. Their storylines are fucking ridiculous. It's either, it's they run a storyline and you could blink an eye and then the feud has completely changed with characters and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? What happened? So like their storylines are not consistent. They grab a lot of ex WWE superstars. They bring them into AEW. They want to run down the whole sports entertainment thing. It was like their prime focus on that, and then they put straps on these wrestlers, and they kind of abandon support on their in-house from the day ones. They abandoned them. They have unsafe spots.
Too many.
Most of their good talent is shelved. So it's like, instead of having AEW having like a live show like Dynamite or something like that, just have a building with all the injured stars in bunks, showing off their casts, their fucking broken legs, their whatever, right? I mean, that's pretty much what you're paying for nowadays. If you want to see top talent, you got to go look on the shelf. You don't look in the ring, So to the AEW fans who will hate me after this, I'm not a big supporter of it. Not until they start changing their methods.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's been kind of everywhere, and nothing is consistent on the show when it comes to their storylines, and the championships are another story. At least I can say one thing: they retired the FTW championship, so that the title that was not canon is still officially not canon, and they finally removed it from the show. Hook was nice enough to give it back to his dad after winning it back and retiring it at whatever fucking last event that they had before WrestleDream. I think it was All Out or whatever.
Yeah.
So kudos
they should
to
change it.
Yeah.
They should change the name of that title to the AEW FTS title. Fuck this shit.
I mean, your show is bad, but the most entertaining aspect of your product is when there's actual backstage feuds and fights, brawls, and injuries. Your shit is bad. If like your in-ring talent, your in-ring shows are not grabbing the attention of people, it's who fought with who backstage? Oh, who beat the hell out of who? What are these? What are the EVPs here doing to this wrestler? Like, when it's the behind-the-scenes politics that's more gravitating than your actual product, you got a bad show. Simple.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, okay, look at how many talents they've signed over the last year, right? You have your Mercedes Monets, you have your Okadas, right? You have whoever the hell else, right? I mean, obviously those are the big names. Will Ospreay, right? So far, the only one that kind of has really made themselves worthy of watching on the show is Will Ospreay, right? Because his matches are always kind of entertaining to watch. And the feuds that he's been in, again, have been entertaining, right? Guys with like MJF, recently, obviously, Ricochet, and now Takeshita, I can't even fucking say his name, who won the title over him at the last at WrestleDream, which I haven't seen that match, but I heard it was a banger match. I might need to go find clips on it. But anyways, he's been kind of interjected in a lot of those important storylines, right? For the world title with Swerve. Now we're seeing people like MVP and Shelton Benjamin on the show, which again, I had to throw it out there, right? Because we're still seeing.
I saw that.
We're still seeing all ex WWE, all ex. That's what AEW stands for, all ex WWE. But we're still seeing characters kind of interject themselves right within that. Swerve, obviously still being like a main character on the show, but it's like, where's that going? Like, what is it going to lead to? There's no championships involved. Like, are you going to turn Swerve heel? He already said that he's not betraying Prince Nana. You know what I mean? So what happens now? Do we wait for Lashley to come in, and does Lashley give Swerve the beatdown he deserves? Right? You know what I mean? Like, so many things could happen, right? Obviously, but it's like, it looks bad when you bring someone into a company and you have them lose right away. And I'm gonna tell you, Ricochet is the prime example of the guy who he must not give a fuck, that he's losing all these important matches. He's had several matches that were of importance that he has not won. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Speaking of debuts, dude, I didn't find out for like a week and a half that Shelton Benjamin came in.
Yeah, man.
And poor Shelton, another guy that is a fucking encyclopedia of knowledge that they're not going to listen to.
And he was, they're going with this whole, the stupid gimmick that they used in WWE, the Hurt Business. That they're not saying the name specifically, right? But they have
I keep
thrown it
hearing
out there.
people praise it, and I thought that was a stupid angle. Personally, I think it was just guys thrown together. Like, hey, you know what? Bobby Lashley's on fire. These guys are not doing nothing. What are we paying them for? Let's just throw them in there and see what happens.
I mean, I think it could have worked to some degree, but the thing is, they let it just fizzle out, and they didn't really give it anything else. They didn't give any thought to it. Rather, like, hey, let's put them up against a big, stable like fucking Bloodline, right? Because at the time, the Bloodline was the other like big stable in the group, and you had Lashley with the WWE title and Roman Reigns with his title, and again, they had their tag champions. The Bloodline had their tag champions at simultaneously. So they could have did something with that. They never did, unfortunately. I think that would have made it more interesting to watch, especially if the shows would have like collided to some degree, but it just never happened. So I don't know. I mean, I don't see it working in AEW, especially with all the stupid ass matches that they have, right? And one of them's going to get hurt. I'm pretty sure MVP is going to get hurt, and he's not even wrestling. So.
Well, I mean, I can say this about them. Oh, go ahead, Mills. I'll go after you.
Didn't MVP retire from the ring?
Yeah, he's done. But I'm like I said, even though he's not wrestling, I'm sure he's gonna get injured somehow.
Yeah, that could happen.
Yeah, he's gonna get something. Somebody's gonna throw something at him, and he's gonna get a concussion or some dumb shit. You know what I mean?
See, the thing about the Hurt Business that didn't work out was MVP and his little side, kind of like sneak, because he didn't come out really and went and say it. Obviously, we know one of the angles that MVP was pushing was, for a powerhouse group that was, Black American. I'm gonna go out and say it. I don't give a fuck if people get mad. That's the way it is, right? But like back in the day when you had the Nation of Domination, we could have that because people wouldn't get triggered by watching a TV program and seeing the Nation of Domination come out and say all these things. But nowadays, with this current generation and their thought process, you have a unit that's trying to portray, a Black American group that's powerful, but you got to tread on eggshells. But you let them kind of go with a liberal thought pattern, but then you got to tread on eggshells. It doesn't fucking work. And if they're gonna bring this stupid angle to AEW, they're pressing on Swerve because he's Black, he should join them. That's a bullshit thing to do. Like, recognize the man's talents and put that over as the reason why you're trying to snatch him for your little kumbaya groups. But don't fucking, put this angle where it's like, we're targeting you because you're one of us type of thing. I hate that whole segregation lifestyle bullshit in wrestling. Like, quit it with that or run with it and run with it full throttle. But don't pussyfoot with it. That's just my thing.
Yeah.
Nation of Domination 2.58. Like, come on. Those two, I don't even know why they're there. Honestly, I don't.
Oh, money.
Yeah. I mean, there's no saying that maybe in some way they can contribute to the show. I think both MVP and Shelton have a lot of experience. But where does it go? I mean, are they going to throw them on Collision and let them just fizzle out like they did with everybody else, right? Guys like FTR, guys like I don't know. I mean, there's just too many fucking names. I don't even watch Collision because they just have like literally all their matches are tag matches with people that they don't really get to show on the show, right? And of course, the female characters that they don't have on Dynamite because they don't want to fucking show them on Dynamite. Female characters like what's her name? Like even Saraya has been pushed to Collision and being an afterthought on the main shows now. And I'm just
doesn't Saraya have a concussion now? From a recent match?
I'm not sure. I know she's been pretty active more recently, but I mean, regardless, like female wrestlers like Serena Deeb and whoever else, Athena, who's been the women's ROH champion for like 2 years already, but doesn't get any fucking airtime. You know what I mean? It's like, she's technically contracted with AEW, but, because, they want to make something of ROH, which Tony Khan just needs to kill ROH, man. I'm sorry, man.
She needs to stay on ROH, if anything.
Yeah.
Because she's unsafe in the ring.
Yeah, or whatever. But whatever they need to do with ROH, they just need to kill it, and they just need to throw it on YouTube, basically. Put it on YouTube. If they can't get a TV deal, throw it on YouTube and maybe charge people a $5 subscription a month to watch that shit. You know what I mean?
You know what? I have an idea. Well, for MVP to make something out of him in fucking AEW. And this will be fun to watch. It wouldn't be like, like a grand match, but it would just be fun to watch. But let Matt Hardy and him go at it again in their little stupid competition matches, where I'd find that more entertaining than this bullshit that they're spinning with them. As far as for like, the women's division in AEW, like, you see all the things that WWE has done, how they've changed the landscape for women wrestlers to go from bra and panty matches to actually having technical matches. Why, if you're a competing company, why don't you want to put something up that can compete against that? You have
like
talent there that can do it.
Yeah,
go ahead, Mil.
You should do the bra and panty matches.
Oh God, no!
This is not 1999, Mil. It's not 1999.
Okay, you know what? For heaven's sakes, to piggyback off Mills here, and let's say I agree with Mills, they have the bra and panties match. Well, then you need Lawler there to be screaming puppies every 10 seconds, or it has no effect.
Oh, poor Lawler. I know his health has declined a lot recently.
I know. I miss him.
Yeah, that's the thing though. In 1999, puppies were a thing. Now it's all about the fat rabbit, the ass.
Fat rabbit. Oh yeah, I love the fat rabbit. Believe me, I mean I like the fat rabbit even back then, but but you're right. The too many female talents have the fat rabbit in AEW, that's for sure, and WWE of course.
Take note, ladies. Now you know. So if you're trying to rizz up B-Tech over here,
all about cake.
You know what he likes.
Hey, hold on, bro. You need to be more mindful.
Oh, my bad. I don't want to get canceled over here. Sorry. To our two viewers, sorry.
Is to more mindful, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, man, I respect the talents of Rhea. I like to see the rear of Ripley.
Oh man. AEW, man, it's so
I
sad.
mean, the thing is, like, I don't know what they can do to fix what they're doing right now. Obviously, they renewed their contract with Warner Discovery. Apparently, Warner Discovery now has some sort of ownership stake in AEW. I don't have too much information about that.
Ooh,
but I think
maybe some changes.
That was the only reason why they renewed. Was a majority of it was because they now have some sort of ownership stake in AEW. So if that's the case, okay, like, they can decide, okay, obviously after the 3 years, because they think they signed a 4-year contract with them, $150 million a year, which, it's never been done before, yada, yada, yada. Tony Khan claims it, but it's like, bro, WWE is getting like $1 billion a year, and that's never fucking probably been done before. Obviously I don't pay attention to networks like the NFL and NBA, whatever, NHL, but I'm pretty sure that as far as the wrestling promotion goes, no one will even top what WWE is getting within these next years.
No, never.
So it's like, but for a starting company, okay, you can give them a pat on their back, right? Obviously, he had a lot of help from his dad, right? I think we all know that he's had all the help in the world from his dad being, a billionaire. Also, that helps when you're a billionaire.
Yeah.
But again, we'll see. Mercedes Moné has been a flop since she came in. I'm really not interested in any of the storylines or feuds that she's had. Every time she has a finisher, she botches the finish to some degree. Yeah. Usually the last couple of minutes of the matches. And you know what? I liked Sasha Banks when she was in WWE. I liked her as a character. Yeah. I still don't resonate with Mercedes Moné as a heel. I think she should have went in as a face. Like, I think that's how she should have went in. Instead of going in there as a heel, because she's just not very good at being a heel, especially when there's so many much better heels on the show.
In the other company, she was better at being a heel, but you got to remember that the other company is going to accentuate your strengths and hide your weaknesses, and this company just lets you do it.
Yeah, exactly. AEW's not hiding her weaknesses, and obviously she has a lot. She still really can't talk on the microphone and have like a good 2-off whenever someone else is battling it with her. Britt Baker showed that whenever the hell she came back. Now she's gone again. Who knows when the hell Britt Baker is going to come back?
Back and forth, man. Back and forth.
It's interesting is all I'm going to say. And women's division, like I said, it's been kind of floppy. They have a TBS title and then the women's title, and it's just like, where is it going? I mean, I don't know. I just really don't know what's going on with that. The tag division is dead, even though you have the Young Bucks or the Elotes who claim that they wanted to put tag wrestling on the map, they haven't done shit since they're the champions. They haven't really done anything. Yes, have the matches they've been in been good, but you can only watch those matches on pay-per-view, and not everyone is going to pay
Honestly,
watch those pay-per-views.
I think the Young Bucks, the Dumb Bucks,
The dumb bucks.
they're the worst W behind the scenes. Like, I think that they're the most detrimental thing to that company. I think
I agree.
on TV, as far as like the worst angles, I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna have to give that to John Moxley, especially the shit with Daniel Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's just a horrible, absolutely horrible. And then followed by Adam Page.
Oh God.
and really, what has Page? I mean, again, I know you guys really probably don't pay attention to it as much as I do, but what has Page done since the Swerve feud? He hasn't done shit. Like he wasn't even on Wrestle Dream or whatever.
So,
you know
how in a book you turn pages. Adam Page should change his name to Adam Channel, because every time he comes on, I change the channel. I flip the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, I don't see why they had Page win the match when they had his, the match with him and Swerve, at All Out or whatever the fuck pay-per-view they had it. I think it was All Out. But it was like there was no point to it because it didn't do anything for either of them. Like, I think Swerve is still in a better spot than Page was, and if they decide to rekindle that feud, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it does for either of them unless one of them is a champion, and who knows? I don't think Adam Page is going to be champion anytime soon. I don't think Swerve is going to be champion anytime soon either. Nope. So, and of course they had MJF and Adam Cole return at Wrestle Dream also this past, Saturday or Sunday, whatever the fuck day they had it.
Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah. Hey, that was a good one.
Because he knows what he's.
No, you're cutting out.
Now what?
Bill Heyman's being filtered, or like AEW caught on, and they're silencing his mic.
You can't hear me?
Now we can.
No, I think they should just give the belt to Christian Cage.
Well, he does
have
have
that contract. And
yeah, he
knows what he's doing. I think that him being champ will help a little bit.
Yeah.
I can see him doing that and maybe refocusing the storylines on some of the mid card talent a little bit, right? And of course, Christian can feud with anybody. I think he makes the storylines meaningful and he makes just the angles fun to watch. So I'm hoping that
Edge already got injured.
Yeah. Months ago. Shit, that was what, like at the beginning of the year, probably.
Yeah, we're already towards the end of the year. Like, man,
he's already been out for 6 months already. So it's like, okay, have Christian win the title, and then whenever Edge comes back, have them feud again.
Have someone email Adam and ask him when he left to go to AEW, was this what he had in mind?
Breaking his leg the first 3 months of being there.
I mean, is that what he had? I mean, seriously, I want to know from Adam himself. Is that what he had in mind?
Have y'all ever had a job that you were at for a while, and then you're like, I want to leave, I want something different, and then you go work there, and you're like, what the fuck did I get myself into?
At the new job, you mean?
Yeah, it's called the grass ain't greener.
Yeah, sometimes the grass isn't always greener on the other side, like you guys are saying.
Have y'all ever felt that though?
Yeah, when I was younger.
You're like, oh God, I should not have left my other job.
Well, I've been an employee of the three-letter store for 18 years, so it's hard for me to say.
Yeah, that's happened to me when I was younger. I mean, yeah, you're right. The grass ain't always greener, Ricochet.
Yeah,
the grass ain't always greener. Remember that, Kevin Owens. Before you start
bro, why would you fucking leave your hot ass fiance, traveling on the road together and stuff like that, and just
I've heard people talk about that. They're like, this dude's stupid. He left her there. I mean,
oh my God, Samantha Irvin, bro.
Seems like she doesn't fuck around. But if this was like somebody during the 80s and 90s, there's so many stories about wrestlers, girls, or guys or girls that they got spouses and shit, and it never ever ends well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
I mean, they're not married though. They're just they're engaged.
But like life and how life always plays itself out, when you are separated from each other for a long time, it leaves the door open. Regardless, long distance relationships don't work for that reason because you do need someone physically there. I mean, I don't know what Ricochet does, behind the scenes. If he spends all his money, he flies to whatever city that she's at to spend a few days with her, but eventually that's going to become taxing, and eventually somebody in the company could actually, get in there with her, and then what?
All right, don't laugh when
imagine if she got backdoored.
Don't laugh
Oh
when
my
I
god!
Oh my god. I'm sure somebody's backdooring it, but anyways, don't laugh when I post this, okay, guys? But when Tito mentioned, oh yeah, there could be somebody else.
Uh-oh. Oh my god. Oh, Cody. But so like yeah.
Tony likes the darker colored ladies also. Sorry, Brandy.
But Brandy will kill him.
Hey, life happens. You can't predict it. What if a new wrestler comes in? It always starts with like just talking as friends. What if she falls for that person? They fall for each other. It could fucking happen.
Yes, of course. That's exactly what I'm saying.
With Ricochet could meet a female wrestler who, like, if he ever has issues, she's like, "Oh, talk to me if you need to. I'm here for you." And that's how it starts.
Yeah, but Ricochet's done for going to AEW, so I expect him to make a stupid move to cost his relationship. But I mean,
I'm a very insecure guy to an extent. So I would if I wanted to leave WWE so bad and I had a girl like that, I would just fucking stay home or do indies where I could work whenever I want.
Yeah. I commend what's his name? But was it Buddy Matthews is married to Rhea?
Yep.
I commend him because that's a hard fate to do,
And he just re-signed with AEW a couple months ago.
What a dumbass. Well, is WWE even scouting him to come back, or
I think they were? And besides, I'm sure if
like I said,
I'm sure if Rhea said I want him back,
I mean, if someone was tempted with this, and
I'm pretty sure Rhea would have used the rear of Ripley if he needed to convince them.
I mean, how could
I need to trademark that, the rear of Ripley.
Yeah, Ricochet, be careful because Mike the Biz is gunning.
I might be sliding into Samantha's DMs. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, he'll debut in WWE as Mike the Biz steal your girl.
Because she's, these Gen Z girls, man, they'll fucking screenshot it and put it all over the internet and tag you.
Oh yeah, sorry, Jade Cargill. Sorry, Jade Cargill. Sorry, I don't think I'm on Samantha's radar just yet. So maybe when she finds me and then they go back and watch all my old videos, sure, why not? Like,
I don't know. You never know. You never know. Like, you ever see those people? You see them on social media and you're like, damn, how did that person end up with her, or how did she end up with him? There's always a chance. There's always a fighting chance. So you never know. She just has to run into you, Mike, one time.
All right, I'll be like, hey, I see her at a local house show, and be like, hey, I follow you on X. You want to follow me back, please? All right.
Hey, raise her up.
Interview her.
What was that again?
Offer to interview her, then put your mic in her face.
Oh my god.
Hey, think about it like this. I'll finally get nieces and nephews if it happens for Mike here.
Yep. That meat Mike.
Hey, and you know what? Go into the bedroom and she's gonna announce you real good.
I would be a stepdad because she's already a mom, I think.
Well, hey, you're a great uncle, so you know what? You would be a great, stepfather, and you can help bring more kids into this world with her.
Great.
We're just saying, Samantha, you know what? Hey.
You guys are funny. I'm about to start trolling her Instagram to find, because she has hotter pictures on Instagram than she does on X. That's for sure.
Would you say that if you take X, she looks hotter?
Oh my god!
I don't know.
We're stepping into illegal territory here. Taking X.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, Ricochet's a dumbass. Bad promo cut. No, no substance in his speech, and losses. Just moving over to where the grass is greener, and he's taking losses. So.
You can tell a wrestler fell off when they start responding to haters on Twitter. It's just
Yeah.
like hip hop artists. You can tell they fell off when they start posting pictures of their food.
Oh. I mean, I post pictures of my food.
But you're neither a wrestler or a rapper.
I know. So that's like my territory. They need to stay in their lane, focus on wrestling, and let me post my foodie photos. Bro.
That's right. You post a lot of pictures of food.
Oh, I'm a fat ass, Judge. I'm a genuine fat ass, bro. I will not turn down good food. I don't give a fuck about my diabetes when it comes to good food. That's like something that my wife hates about me. She's like, oh, you eat healthy, you do all this stuff when you actually pay attention to what you're eating. But when it's like good food, you know it's good food, you don't give a shit. It's like, I don't. Yep. I'm only going to have this one life.
That's all of us at times.
Yeah. Yep. So, fuck AEW, and that's all I'm going to say. Tony just needs somebody in there that can run it.
Oh, I know who could run it.
You.
Me, yeah, no.
Mike the Biz took over. So you're behind it with John Moxley and all them. And
all right, I got to share one more, okay? Oh, wait, wrong feed. Hold on. Let's see.
Uh-oh. What was that?
That's Instagram. That's X. My bad. No, I'm trying to get on Instagram over here. What the fuck? I forgot to stop sharing. Hold on. I forgot to share a new thing. We were going to share one more.
Wait, you said you shared a dude thing. What the fuck?
What? I said new thing. Man, I'm too serious over here. Too serious.
No.
Last one. Last one. Last one. All right, here we go.
You know, if she had does she have her own action figure?
I don't think so, not yet. But I mean, I would do it. Probably.
You know, because if she does, I'll treat her like a Barbie when I was a little boy and look up the skirt and see what color panties she's wearing.
Oh God. All right, let's go. Somebody
don't you dare deny that y'all didn't do that shit.
Hey, I just got a notification saying that some guy named Brad subscribed to the Scorpion Deathlock Pod. Let's go. A new subscriber. Yeah. 46 subs now. Let's fucking go.
Yep. So that's far away from 50 and almost halfway.
Actually, no, we jumped up 2. We went from 45 to 47. Hell yeah, let's go.
Yes.
47 subs.
Let's go. I think they're enjoying the podcast, so I really appreciate it.
We got 47 subs?
Yes, sir.
Oh, shit. We're getting canceled.
Right. Well, I'm happy about that. Hey, we went from like 30.
That's good.
Yeah, and that's because we don't post that often. So every new video we post, we're getting a couple here and there. So that's good. And now that Tito's going to be posting on Tap and Twist or Tip and Twist. Can't fucking say it.
Tongue twister for you.
Yeah, it is, man. I'm sorry.
Twist and tap.
Twist and tap. Yeah, T and T, double T.
Yeah, just think about submissions, right? You twist first and they tap.
All right, fellas.
Other shit besides submissions. If we're you know what I'm saying?
All right, here we go. Mike Lava posting saying Mike.
That's a cool fucking name.
Mike Lava?
Mike Lava.
Yeah, I think he was the one that subscribed recently because I got an email about that, so that might be the one. Thanks again.
That sounds like
the real last name?
Never mind.
A radio show host named Mike Lava.
I mean, that's a badass last name if that's real. Like,
Lava. Like, I'm gonna burn this shit down.
Bleep out all your information except for your first and last name on your driver's license. Let's see it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like almost actually that's a hell of a lot better than that damn movie where the dude named himself McLovin.
Hey, that's a classic movie. I like that movie.
I love that movie. One name? What are you, Seal? I died laughing watching that in the movie theater. And they had to use Hawaii.
Oh yeah, as the license plate.
Fucking oh my god! I saw that like state of Hawaii McLovin, 21-year-old organ donor. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Super bad. Yeah.
Those were good movies. Those were good times. Well, I don't know. Anything else you guys want to discuss? I guess we've already been on for about an hour and a little more than an hour and a half. So, Mike Lava, if you have anything to add, anything you want us to mention or talk about, go ahead before we close out today.
No judgment here. We're not the judgment type. So say what you want to say and don't feel like you have to like filter yourself.
That if your comment gets deleted, it's YouTube, not us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube and all their crap that they're doing. Fucking YouTube. Oh my god. I don't know, man. Whatever you want to talk about. You want to talk about side stuff? You want to talk
Let
about?
me tell you what I did today.
What'd you do today?
So I drove out of town, about 30 minutes out of where I live, and I visited a record store, which those are so rare
No
now.
shit.
I was there
Really?
2 hours because me and the owner were talking music, and I used to work for a record label a long time ago.
Like
And
vinyl records?
vinyl, cassettes, CDs, VHS,
God damn, man. Wow.
How's he in business, man?
and old vinyl. And I was like, dude, like your stores are like practically non-existent. How the fuck have you survived? You know?
Did they tell you how?
They sell CBD there probably also.
What's that?
It's like they sell CBD also probably in porn.
Yeah, they sell CBD,
Yeah,
porn,
Yep, I figured.
t-shirts and shit.
Yep, I figured. Yeah.
Why didn't you vlog it? Like you could have freaking vlogged it on the gram, so we could have all saw it.
I'm going to.
Okay, I'm watching.
Do it on my music page, on the music fan page I have.
Okay, I'm gonna watch. I want to see it
Follow
because
it. Look it up real quick while we're still here.
they're so rare. Record stores are so rare. I mean,
You want me to get on the website or what?
It's on Instagram.
Oh, what's their Instagram?
No, it's my page. They don't have an Instagram. I'm trying to convince them to open one.
yeah, man, the shit.
But
If
when
they
I
open
go
one,
live, y'all can check it out.
Oh, okay, yeah, help
Follow
them
it
out with that, dude. Shit, I mean that'd be. I mean, tell them, hey, you want to get your name out there? Also.
Look it up, Tito. Rap a lot history.
What is it called?
Rap RAP
Uh huh.
ALOT
Uh huh.
history. The word history.
Oh,
And I'll follow you.
History. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I'll follow it on the BTech page. Oh, what the heck? I'm already following. What the hell?
Yeah, I think you were.
What the hell? Maybe Mill Hustle's probably told me to follow it already, or maybe I was already following. I don't fucking know.
okay, I'm not following it. This is the one with over 4,000 followers.
Yeah, that's my page. I'll follow you back.
All right, I
Yep,
got you.
it-
I got you.
Why can't I have 4K followers? Sheesh.
Well, that page is it's like the first of its kind because like a lot of record labels have fan pages.
Mhm.
By the
Yeah.
dozen, this page didn't have one. So
There you go.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'm looking for that when you drop that piece on that record store because record stores are hard to find. Everything it says
scroll all
everything's
the way to the
digital.
top. Scroll all the way to the top.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Good.
And that video, the fourth video.
This
Right
one.
I click that. And
Alright.
you can watch. That's just what I picked up today.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me pause it real quick because I don't think I have the volume coming out. Can you guys hear anything or no?
And you can see right there.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, there you go.
Will it just be me and you? Tell me. You know I want you.
Oh wait, I'm gonna get demonetized here. Hold on.
Tell me how you feel.
I'll be obliged if you step outside.
All right, it wasn't that long anyway. Hopefully, Google doesn't be like,
No demonetization if
Demonetized,
it's
man.
less than 10 seconds.
But you
Remember
see
that.
right
I
there.
thought it was 7.
Hey, go back a second. You see where it says where that vinyl says we want some?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to cover that up for
Oh,
the
it
gram
says
because that
something
says we
else.
want
Oh,
some
yeah.
pussy.
Oh, okay. That's why. I mean, you can see the why. I see it right.
Now,
Yeah.
and then the first piece of vinyl there is a limited edition.
Oh shit.
The one from the very beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you.
That's
Good
the
thing
Dumb
they
and
had-
Dumber soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
a good soundtrack.
Some movie soundtracks are good, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you
That
don't
one right
get-
there. Yeah, that's a limited
nostalgic. That's nostalgia at its best right there. Like I remember, and like you were saying about movie soundtracks, you used to go to the freaking the record store, buy the actual movie soundtrack albums, right? Because it would have like It's like a mixtape. It would have like different songs that were in that movie that you liked. So you didn't have to like get the artist's album to get the song. You get the movie soundtrack, and it has different artists, different songs that were popular. Now they don't have that. Everything's downloaded on the internet.
But that page it's gotten pretty popular, man. It blew up pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, like I tell people, my Instagram page didn't blow up from anything that had to do with tech. It blew up to me reacting to freaking Instagram Reels. That's what blew my Instagram up for a short time, and because I don't do them anymore, I went from having over 2,000 followers to going back down. Like it's depleting.
Yeah, I remember it jumped up. We were doing like those react videos.
God, I feel like Instagram unfollows people for you and vice versa.
Yeah. Good possibility. But I don't worry too much about it because I just post food pictures and maybe every now and then update people that follow me on Gram with what's up with me, and that's about it. Right now I'm pushing a lot on X. Like I built that the Twist and Tap community on X, and I'll be posting a lot of stuff there too, as well as the same on YouTube. So that's that. The tech stuff, I'm still gonna do it. I'm just like, tech today is just so weird. Just like the angle and the things I was going. Yeah. I was laughing. My friend bought an iPhone 16 and he freaking called me up to tell me about it. He's all like, I got the Apple Intelligence. I wasn't trying to make him feel bad, but I was just like, oh, that's great. You got the Apple Intelligence before it actually released on October 28th. And he's just like, what? I'm like, yeah, dude, it's not there yet.
I do want one of those blue 16s.
They are nice. They are nice. But like the fact that they're advertising Apple Intelligence where the actual main core of Apple Intelligence is not coming until March 2025 is such a stupid move because people are expecting to have those AI features.
Yep, like, not very intelligent now, is it?
But, if you're getting an iPhone because you like iPhone, you like iOS, then yeah,
I mean, I think I should upgrade. I'm using a 12 right now. I sold my 15 Pro a while back because somebody made me an offer I couldn't refuse. But I have a 12 and it's brand new. It's only like 4 months old. I got it sealed.
Nice.
And it works just fine.
I fixed my 12 recently. I got the screen replaced, so it's not cracked anymore.
Oh, that's good.
I'm not upgrading
from it. Getting the new Pixel?
Am I getting the 9? No, I'm holding out for the 10. I'm going to get the 9A.
Get the Fold, the new Fold.
No. Mm-mm.
Just skip a couple of house payments, car payments. Sell a kid.
No. If I grab a Fold, it's going to be the older one because I'm seeing people in my city that's selling them right now for like $500.
Ooh, not bad.
Yeah, it's dropped down because they're trying to sell it so they can go and get the 9 Pro Fold. But I'm waiting for the 10. I know some people had made fun of it, but in my opinion, the Exynos chips aren't all that great. You can see the weaknesses with the current Pixels. So with the Pixel 10 being with with USMC is going to be the builder of the Tensor 5. I'm going to wait for that.
I'm gonna go, guys. I got 1% battery. Follow me on that page, and we'll chat on there. I'll follow y'all back.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
All right, well, I'm already following you, so it's all good.
All right,
yeah, I'm following you as well. Later, bro. But yeah, man. I'm gonna wait for the Pixel 10, and like my target right now is the Pixel 9A. That's the one I'm gonna go for, and it's gonna be unique because it's not gonna look like the Pixel 9 at all, which I'm okay with that. But
yeah, I still want the 8A, but we'll see. I'm waiting to drop it to $399 again. So I should have taken advantage when they had it at $399 because they had it for like a little bit. But I was like, maybe I don't know if they already had Amazon Prime days or whatever. But
I honestly I feel like it will reach a $399 price point again. It's maybe next month, November.
Dang, is Amazon even selling it new right now? What the heck?
Amazon I think has a deal where it's $50 off, so it's $449. But there was some place I saw. If I find it, I'll DM you the link. But there's a place that it's at $449. But if you trade in, I forgot what you have to trade in for it, but you can get it for $50 if you trade in. If I find that DM, I'll DM you.
Yeah, no, on Amazon it is $449 right now. So I'm just like, oh man, well they'll drop it to $399. It's $369 renewed, so I could technically get it cheaper like that. Let's see, the Pixel
That ain't
7A.
bad at all.
The 7A brand new is $329, man. Shit.
I don't know why that's $329. It's yeah. I don't know.
I think I remember seeing it for like $2 something brand new a while back. Also, I was like, damn, you know what I mean? But oh well, it is what it is. But anyways, anything you want to mention before we close out? I am getting a little tired here.
Nah, no worries, bro. Did you check your 7 Pro for Android 15?
Oh
Because
shit!
it didn't show up on my 7 yet, so maybe in the next couple of days it'll show up on my 7. I haven't checked my 8A for it.
Okay, I would have to follow up with you because my battery is dead on my 7 or my 7 Pro, so I need to plug it in.
Oh, by the way, I'll make the announcement on your tech channel to everyone out there, but 4-day challenge fail.
You went back. Which one did you sign up with? The iPhone. Was that the 11 Pro or what?
Yeah, it's 11 Pro Max, and then the Pixel 7 is charging.
Dang, what happened? What made you give in?
The software updates, because again, I do this stuff on YouTube, so I wanted to not only just update the devices, but throw service back on it and see if I find any bugs with either Android 15 or with iOS 18.1 beta 4 is where it's at right now. So, and then I realized when I put my SIM in there, it's like, oh man, I fucked up. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna lie to people, so I'm gonna tell them. I went back to an iPhone and a Pixel before 4 days was up.
Well, you said you would. I mean, 4 days wasn't even that long. I would like to see you go like a week without using a Pixel or an iPhone.
I don't think I can. I don't think I can. I mean, don't get me wrong. This phone, I mean, that's why I dropped a video today on this phone being badass. I really like this phone, and I'm waiting for the company that I use to unlock it.
Yeah.
They're supposed to get back to me probably by next week. They said they'll have it. And then they'll let me know what to do to finish the unlock, so that way I can use any service in it. So when I find out what it is, if they do successfully unlock it, I'll tell you who I used, because it's like $25 and they'll get it SIM.
Yeah, I think Mill Hustles had mentioned he had given me like a website to do it, but it was a little confusing to me, so I don't really know how to do the process of it. But yeah, if it works for you, then I'll let you know, and maybe you can start the process for me. I'll just send you the money or whatever you need, you know what I mean?
Well, I'll send you a link of who I use. They're a legitimate company, and all you do is you just choose the model phone, and then you choose your payment method, and then they stay in contact. I get like maybe 2 emails a day. They update me to let me know where it's at. Wow. Because Metro, they do it remote now. They don't have the app where you can unlock it.
Yeah.
That's why it's taking longer, is because I don't know if they have somebody on the inside of Metro that's gonna do something for them, but they're like, they got so many orders. When mine gets processed, they'll let me know when it's done. And I'm like, hurry the fuck up, because I want to use this phone on the side with the 11 Pro Max and compare them. But yeah, that's all I have besides that.
All right, everybody. Well, if you guys are joining in, you're about an hour and 52 minutes late because we're about to finish. So thanks again for joining in on the Deathlock podcast. Again, if you guys haven't already subscribed to Tito's new channel, again, go ahead and give you that. I'll let you share the information real quick.
Oh, no. You know what? So it's Twist and Tap. That is my pro wrestling channel. Subscribe to that to get, solo content for me. I guess you could say that. Mm-hmm. But big shout out to the Deathlock podcast. 47 subscribers. Let's go. Let's get to 50 by next week. Let's get to 100 before December.
Yeah, let's do 100. I would like to do 100 before December, or before the end of the year. I'd be happy with 100 before the end of the year. So, again, shout out to everybody that, again, joins in and watches these longer podcasts. Again, I get tired, man. I don't know about you. I know you can do them on your channel, man, but I get tired after like an hour. But I know there's times where we've gone like 2-3 hours.
That's why I keep mine to an hour. If you haven't noticed, all my live streams are like an hour because I start to feel the fatigue and it's like, oh,
okay, you feel it. I'm like, I need an energy drink already, man. So, but anyways, the link for Tito's wrestling YouTube channel is in the description, guys. So check it out, and I'm definitely going to share it on a post on my main channel as well, including the Deathlock channel as well. So again, shout out to Tito for starting that up. I'm excited. I can't wait to see his first video. And again, he said he wants to do responses or videos to one another, and he said he'll take videos from this channel and post them on his, vice versa, right? So we'll see what happens there. But again, guys, thank you all for watching. Enjoy your Tuesday. Have a good week. And